It is now end of November. It's been like a week. It is Christmas Day today.
So it's now end of January.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. Welcome to my channel. I'm really sorry about my voice if it sounds weird. I'm not well. So I decided for today I would do a lot of reading because I've not done any reading this month. So I'm going to see how much reading I can get done in 24 hours. I'm really looking forward to it because I have some really exciting reads to get to today. There's a few that are on my list at the moment. One I'm really excited to get to is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Is one that I really want to finish. Like, I've started it twice. The first time I got to this tab, the second time I got to this gap here. I don't know what it is. I just keep stopping. This is like priority, I think, this one. But I'm gonna try maybe switch between a few. So it's gonna be this one, and then also is Opal by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is the third book in the Lux series. I read the first two books a couple of months ago and really enjoyed it, and getting to this one, I'm kind of like unsure about the direction it's taking, which has kind of like made me put it down for a bit, and I put it down for like over a month. Sorry if you can hear my cat in the background meowing. On Goodreads it says I read it, but I don't actually remember anything about it. I'm excited to push through and read more of this because I know the series as a whole is really good. This is the third book and there's, I think, 5 books. So surely there's more good things to come. The next book is Minor Detail by Adnia Shibley. This book, just heard amazing things. I've wanted to read it for quite a while, and it's quite thin too, so I feel like this book can really help me get through a lot in this like 24-hour reading stint. So I'm not doing like full 24 hours, like no sleep or anything like that. The plan over the next few days is like trying to get through the books that I want to read, and then also trying to see how many pages I can actually read in 24 hours, because I've never actually tested myself on how much I can read. I consider myself a relatively slow reader, like not slow, but definitely not fast by any means. So I'm just going to test out how long it's going to actually take me to read these, and if that's achievable in 24 hours. At the moment, I think I'm feeling this the most because I'm editing the video where I talk about the first book. Come on, Lula, be in the video then. She doesn't want to be in the video. Come on. Look. This is the one that makes all the noise. She's so cheeky. Anyway, we'll see what we can do with this reading. Let's get to it. Stop fucking yapping. Let's go. I didn't even make a timer. What is wrong with me? Okay, let's just act like that was a warm-up. Okay, 24 hours. Starting now. Now I just got to remember to stop and start when I stop and start reading. Okay. Hi. So it's been like a week. My goal of reading while resting at home was not achieved. At the moment, my timer is still going. I'm actually surprised my timer didn't reset itself. So for a week it's been going strong. So I've read for about 4 hours. I've just been reading Opal. I'm trying to find a place because I've been reading on my Kindle app on my phone. Roughly page 182 is what I'm up to reading on my Kindle app. It's just more convenient because I've been reading at work. It's just convenient to pull it up on my phone. Oh, actually it's over halfway. Pretty good considering that I've been reading for 4 hours. That's about like 140 pages it's taken me to read in 4 hours. I've told you, but here's the proof. Like, I'm not a fast reader. This book, I was telling you about my concerns that I had in the beginning where it was going to be a bit slow and I wasn't sure like what was going to propel the story forward, but that soon was fixed. I feel like it's something to work with at least. There's a lot of anticipation, so I'm like really holding hope that it's something good is going to happen, I guess. Nothing really else, just been busy with life and job and editing And I got a new laptop, the cherries. I recently got a new laptop and that's been taking up a lot of my time. Setting that up. I love like setting up new tech, changing all the settings to suit me, all that kind of stuff. I love it. So yeah, that's been occupying a lot of my time, but I'm trying to be more like read, edit, do the things you need to do, get it all done. There are also other books that I really want to get to, but I just don't think it's smart for me to like stop and then start again. I just want to like read one at a time, just like get it done, you know? And I want to actually finish the TBR that I set my mind to. I'm going to get rid of this makeup, in case you weren't sure what that meant, and just read in bed. I'm very tired. I don't think it's achievable, but we'll see. Okay, let's go. So I've just finished this book, Opal by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I for sure did not read this over 10 years ago. Goodreads says I have, but I for sure have not, because the ending of this was insane. There's no way I would have forgotten that. I'm currently not home. Honestly, all I want to do is just jump into the next book, but I don't have it here with me, but that's all right. I bought these two books with me, one being Minor Detail and the other being The Christmas Fix, because it is Christmas Day today. I always love reading a Christmas book around Christmas, and I only really have the capacity to read one. So this is going to be this year's book. This was like from my November TBR, as was this book. So I've finally read this one. This one is only like 160 pages. I think this I'll be able to get through relatively quickly. I read about 8 hours, which when you think about it, it took me 8 hours to read this whole book. I think I'll try and start reading it tonight. After reading the end of this one, which was a little bit heavy, I'm really in that mood to feel a heavy read, to feel emotion. And this will be when I'm feeling more light romance. So I'm gonna get going on this one. I'll check in with you later.
The last clip you saw of me talking to you was on Christmas Day, and I had just finished Opal, and I didn't have the next book with me at the time, so I couldn't start reading that, but I did start reading Minor Detail by Adania Shibli. And after Christmas I went to Adelaide, so the clips that you saw of me reading Minor Detail were in Adelaide, and it was beautiful and prime beach reading weather. So I've gotten about a bit over halfway. I paused it for a little bit and I stopped at home and got Origin by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is the fourth book in the Lux series. And then I took almost a month-long break from reading because I started work back again. It's funny, I've been filming this video since I think last November. So it's now end of January. So it's been like 3 months of me making this video of how many books I can read in 24 hours. I haven't even read 24 hours yet. And I also at one point picked up The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score and I read this much, 10 pages. And it was good, but it wasn't quite the vibe I was after. And I feel like Christmas is too far gone now for me to read this Christmas book. I'll see. So yeah, I started those and I didn't read for a while, and then I randomly found in the store Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, which is the third book in the Emily Wilde series. It doesn't come out until like 11th of Feb, so I was confused as to why it was there. But I got it anyway. And I've read the first book. I've been meaning to read the second book. So I'm like, oh, but I just have to read it. So I have also been reading Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, which is the second book in the Emily Wilde series. Very addictive, I gotta say. I got to page 80 with this one. It's like you jump right back into the story. Cozy academia with like magic and fairies. Romance chucked in, like sprinkled here and there. Oh, I completely forgot a whole entire book. Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. I had read about half of this and I was like, you know what? Let's just pick it back up. And it was so good. It's like a third of the way through I had read. And so that was page 164. And then I read until 476. So I read this. It's a lot of like vampire politics, but also just a lot of smart. Like it's basically no plot, just smart for at least the first 2/3 of the book. Then after that, it's plot. And it wraps up. It was so good. And then I was just really, really in the mood to read another romance book. I realized I had a bunch on my Kindle. So I found this one, which is Top Secret by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. I really love their romances that they collaborate on as like co-authors. This one is about two guys in a fraternity and then things go on from there. So yeah, at the moment, so the timer doesn't say 24 hours anymore because there's been quite a few times where I've gone into the app and the timer's reset itself. So it says I have an hour and 39 minutes left of the timer. So I've got an hour and 39 minutes left to read of this 24-hour challenge I've been reading for 6 months. So hopefully I can finally finish it. My goal will be to probably read Emily Wilde's because this is the one that I'm like really hooked on at the moment. And yeah, let's finally finish this reading challenge. That will be nice. Okay, let's finish this. I've finally finished. It's been literally 3 months in the making. I started in November 2024 and it is now end of January 2025. So over the last 3 months, whenever I was reading, I was just pressing the timer that I had set up on my phone. And there were quite a few instances where it did actually stop and I had to roughly figure out what the timer was at when it got wiped. So it's like maybe give or take half an hour from what I actually read in total. So these are the books that I read within these 24 hours over 3 months. There's 6 books that I read. I didn't finish all of these books, of course, but yeah. So the first book I read was Opal, and I read majority of this book. I read, no, don't you do it. I read from page 49 to 382, which means that I read in total, I have these all written down, and that means that I read a total of 333 pages for this one. I then next read some of Minor Detail, and I read from page 1 to page 92, so that's 92 pages. I next read Origin and I read only 30 pages of this one, so that's adding another 30. And then Court of the Vampire Queen, I read from page 164 to 476, and that was 312 pages. Then I read on my Kindle, I read this book, Top Secret, and that I read in its entirety, which was 282 pages. And then I read Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, and this I read 130 pages of. So adding all these together, that's 1,179 pages that I read over 24 hours, which equals to 49.2 pages per hour. I'm not winning any records with this. I do know that. I've never thought of myself as a fast reader. That's kind of part of the reason why I sometimes put off reading, because I know it's going to take me a while to finish a book. So say a book is roughly 300 pages, that means it's going to take me about 6 hours to finish. These are the books that I managed to finish. So I finished 3, and these are in varying degrees of completion. I feel like that was pretty good effort. So this was a lot of fun. Like towards the end it was a lot of fun, to be honest. Like in the beginning it was quite stressful because I felt like I was never ever going to achieve this. Like when I first started this video, I think I said that I started it because I was not feeling well and I wanted to have like a weekend where I just read and do like a 24-hour reading challenge. And then here we are 3 months later. If you want to see more of me, this is my Instagram you can check out if you like. Please comment below if you've read any of these books and what you thought, or if you have any recommendations based on these books that I've read, because especially, honestly, Court of the Vampire Queen, if you have any recommendations similar to this, like vampires, yes. And like all the other stuff, yes. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.